door for Frida. Thank you for waiting. Very sweet of you. How's the sound? Can you hear me? Hot roll? Good morning. Can you hear me? Oh yeah, it's treats. I forgot. We're waiting for Frida. I didn't want to be late to sign on. So here we are waiting. We have so much to talk about today. I'm filming already.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's my auntie boys.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, this is Frida's.
Oh, okay. Frida, get it from your mama. Here you go. Wow. Snatch. All right, hon, we'll see you in a little bit.
Thank you.
So they get a treat at Victoria's. And they swallow it whole pretty much. I think we're going to take the elevator today. Normally we take the stairs. Oh, great, bye. Okay, good. Good. You swallowed it. You swallowed it. Monty, can you chew and walk? Yeah, we'll take the stairs. It avoids all kinds of interactions. Oh, it's okay. Frida, don't grab his tree. Don't do that. Hello, good morning. Who's here? Announce thyself. Somebody that likes to watch us on the stairs. All right. Oh my God, it's smoky in here. That's gross. Is that you, Midwest? I gotta ask you. Yes. Hi, how are you? I wanted to ask you, so last night, I could not sleep. And it was like maybe 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. And I was laying in bed and I think it's your channel. Do you have a channel that goes 24/7? That down to your garden? Midwest Night Watcher? You do? Okay, so that is you. It's hard to tell. It was hard to tell if it was snow or bugs or what it was in the ear there around the camera. But I think it was bugs. If it was you, it was bugs, not snow. Right? Yeah, I know, Monty. There's all kinds of stuff going on. We're not doing it. You guys, there's a nest of bunnies in our front yard. These bunnies are the size of my fist. The biggest one is the size of my little fist. Like this. This fist, which is pretty small. Don't look at my nails. Orbs and fit. Oh, they're working in the... Okay, you guys want to see where the rat family lives? This is the rat family. It lives back here. Seeing them is just like seeing Scientologists. You have to creep about. And when you see them, you jump on them. They come out. There's a lady that feeds them, like intentionally feeds this rat family. That's her bowl right there. She gives them water. And that's her thing, man. It's weird. I think rats are the hell. I don't care how smart they are. Have you ever seen a rat king? That shit is gross. So we're going for a walk. Whether the boulder wants to or not. There's a lot of stuff to talk about just because over the weekend so much stuff happened in the YouTube world, in YouTube land, crazy town. Lots of videos being made, lots of righteousness being spouted. Righteousness on all sides. I went on a Reddit account. I've never done this. Account is probably even the wrong word. Anyway, I went on this Reddit thing that so I'm doing research, right? For Dream Exchange and Scientology, and as usual. And it takes me to this Reddit account about SPTV, and there's all this information on it, like gossip type information about creators. And I'm reading it and I'm like, I know I'm going to come across my name or like a reference to me. I'm like, please don't. Please don't. On the one hand, you can't look away. And on the other hand, you're like, I need to know. So I did not come across myself, but I didn't look for very long. I was like, whatever this, it felt so dark. Like, why am I engaging in this? But anyway, there was a lot of stuff in there about, let's see. This reminds me too. So there were a lot of sort of conspiracy type theories behind about the Aftermath Foundation. Oh gosh, so many people involved. If I name names, it'll seem like it's just about them, and it's pretty much every creator that creates content about Scientology. Lots of criticism of, auditors being too forceful, calling us bullies, and that we use a sad excuse. Because as soon as I read that, I'm thinking, yeah, but it's not our job to get people out of Scientology, right? It's our job to inform the public and prevent new members. My job, not our. That's how I see my role. And then it said, and they use that pathetic excuse that they're not trying to get people out. They're only trying to prevent new members. I'm like, well, yeah, is it pathetic? Is that pathetic? Anyway, there was a lot of talking about different personalities and oh my gosh, the length to which some commentators go to quote unquote connect the dots, right? It just sounds crazy. So I try to stay out of that as much as possible, but I, like everyone, can't tear my eyes away from a train wreck. So it's kind of, and then I engage in self-loathing, like, why are you doing that? But there's a lot of high drama, telenovela style in the Scientology community right now. Anti, I guess, would be the word. But other than that, not much is going on. We had our members powwow last night about the direction of the channel. We didn't really talk about direction of the channel necessarily. We did discuss Nation of Islam and making that a research project that we focus on, but it's really not time yet because Dream Exchange is still out there hanging. It's not really hanging, it's just, what is it? Some of the members some of the people that are doing research on Dream Exchange want us to try to get it out and I agree, get it out to more viewers so more people know that Dream Exchange is a Scientology front touting itself as the first black-owned stock exchange in America. That's what they keep saying. That's their PR line. The first black-owned stock exchange in America. It's like, wow. Very much not true. First of all, is it true? Strictly speaking, yes, it is. Is it also the first privately owned stock exchange in America? Yes, it is. So the minority thing is just something they threw in for marketing purposes. Yes, you did. Israel. Oh my God, Israel, what are you doing up so early? You haven't gone to bed. Now I forgot what I was saying, but that's okay. That's always the same crap. So, come on. Talking a little bit about all the gossip on the internet. I was on a Reddit site that was talking about a lot of stuff. A lot of aftermath versus ASL versus, I don't know, with a lot of stuff thrown in there. And I was looking for my own name, of course, being the narcissist. As someone pointed out on one of my videos, it's you. So yeah, I was looking for my own name, but did not see it. Blessedly. Did not see it there. But there's a... Oh my God, it smells so good under here. The lilacs are all blooming. White lilacs are pretty rare, and there are white lilac trees up here. Let's go see. Monty, come on. The boulder is holding us back. Look at him. He won't let us go. Now he's going. Let me pee on this tree. Look at the moth. He's a boulder and she's a moth. Or a butterfly on a string. Did anybody go to there was a lot, oh God, what was it? Jacob Harkey from LA. I read that he attended some Palestinian, they said Palestinian, but I don't know if that's accurate. Anyway, he attended some, maybe it went to an encampment, I'm not sure, maybe a protest of Israel, but I'm not sure, honestly, so I probably shouldn't even talk about it. Anyway, they were saying that he was pressured to take down videos about the conflict. He probably was there, I would think, as a neutral, like we always pretend to be, neutral observer. Those are the white lilac trees. But as you can see, they're done blooming already. We had so many vicious storms last week that a lot of the blossoms got blown away. Anyway, he was pressured, I guess, to take down videos that from his channel that were not Scientology related. Again, this is just gossip on Reddit. So I thought that was kind of interesting and weird. Everybody can have a platform now, right? If I have something to say, all I have to do is say it. Hit go live and say it. If I have something I want to say. That's the beauty and sort of the horror of it all. Look at this. Oh God, I love these gladiolas. This is a gladiola, isn't it? Or is this an iris? That is so gorgeous. So Israel, I'm sorry to tell you that it's all walking, mumbling, and yammering. That was one of my reviews. And the person expected better content. Let's go this way. I haven't even had coffee. Monty got me up very early this morning, and then we fell back asleep after we went out. And then I got up at about 6:30 for the day. Today is laundry day, faux show. This is the Opera. This is an old building that was rehabbed completely. It was initially just the stone on the bottom, no brick. They added that entire part of the building. It was an opera house, like a very old opera house. And now it's condominiums. There is a coffee place up here we'd like to go to, but I did not bring my wallet. Oh, I have my phone. Duh. Maybe we'll go get coffee. What do you think, guys? Let's go. They said yes. Yes, Mom, get coffee. You need it. Your horror show without it. Let's see. Spill the tea. They just using it as a thumbnail? Who is using what as a thumbnail? You are absolutely correct. But that day, he did not go with me. Oh, no, I'm not talking about Solomon, dude. I didn't even mention Solomon's name. I don't, because he's a minor. I mean, I don't talk about him because he's a minor. And a donut. I like the way you think, Midwest. Let's see. No, Jacob Harkey. I mean, I don't even know Jacob Harkey or his material. All I know is I read something on Reddit about how he had something that wasn't pertaining to Scientology and was pressured by fellow creators to take it down. The inference being it was either too unrelated to Scientology, you know, like don't murk up the waters, or it was too political, too divisive. I don't know what's more divisive than Scientology, so I'm just making crap up. So, but when you go on Reddit, this particular Reddit site, there was just a lot of things about personalities in YouTube, in the anti-Scientology effort. And, you know, everyone claims to have the inside information. Everyone claims, oh, yes, now I finally know who's behind this. And I have fallen victim to that as well. I mean, the truth is, Scientology with fair gaming and, you know, the hiring private investigators to follow people, they've been doing this for decades. And I honestly never thought it would apply to me, never thought I would see it. I thought it was an old thing that they did when they thought they could get away with it, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I never took Scientology seriously. And my friends are still saying, why are you spending so much time on this? Who cares about Scientology? They really do. My friends say this all the time. And what I found out when I went to the opening, after, you know, thinking in my naive brain that everything would turn out, you know, probably not well, but roughly similar to the way Scientology promised it would. And that's not at all what happened. After they, you know, assured everyone it was a public event and that everyone was invited. And, you know, they would comply with the 10-foot path along either edge of the block for emergency evacuations and public view, and also journalist coverage. Yeah, after all that, they did the absolute opposite, starting the day with beating up a 74-year-old man for wanting a donut and coffee. It would be like right now if they shut off my block and I wanted to get here. This is local, Cribby. They have maybe 3 or 4 coffee shops, and it's where I like to get my coffee. I'm kind of like that man. I'm old, and I'm set in my ways about certain things, like the coffee I like. Of course, there are 2 Starbucks in the neighborhood, and I don't like Starbucks, so I like to come here. Okay, these guys are going to be bad, I already know, but that's okay. And they said, no, you can't go in there. And I moved, and there's absolutely nothing going on the block that I could possibly interrupt with my presence. So I moved the gate away, walk in. I can see my store is open. My coffee shop is open. Be right back. Be good. Be good. I'll be right back. And so why can't I go get a coffee? And I go down and I get grabbed by 6 Blue Star security guys and get beat up. Thank God on camera. Hi. Can I get a Caribbean macchiato?
Of course. Do you want that hot or ice?
Hot, please.
Of course. And what size did you
Small.
want? Gotcha. And do you have a preference for milk?
Yes, soy.
Gotcha.
And a glass of water?
Of course. Do you want ice in that?
Yes, please.
Gotcha.
And 2 pup cups.
No problem. All right. That'll just be $6.33 then. Sorry. Go right ahead.
Oh, I have to double. I did it wrong. Did it work?
It still says it's waiting.
Okay.
Oh,
Here we
there
go.
you are.
All right. Oops. Sorry about that. Okay. So let's see, where were we? Where were we? Israel. Hi, Michael. Huh. Okay, so I gotta wait a second for my coffee. The dogs look very, they're being good though. Look at them, they're still good. Monty can see me. Thank you.
So I'm gonna have like 15, 20.
I'll be back for my coffee. Thank you so much. Okay, pup cups for the pups. All right, guys, I see you. I know. I see you. Here we go. Want one? No, Monty doesn't really like them. Here we go. But look who does. No, not so much, Freedy. She's like, what is it? It's on my lips. Nope. They were not a success. You want to try it? Anybody want to try it? Maybe if there's competition. Monty will not compete for food. He looks like he would, but he doesn't. He's like very polite. Here you go, buddy. Here you go. Nope. Well, at least Frida's eating them. So whatever the reason, yeah, I guess that stuff got taken down. I don't even know. I've never seen his stuff, so I should just shut up. That's what I should do right now. But here's one interesting thing. And this is pretty much all I got this morning. I found a woman online, actually through StreamYard, who is, I mentioned her to you guys before. We've been planning to do a 10:30 a.m. show for 2 weeks. And I keep canceling because stuff comes up. But she's an expert in Islam, Hindu, the Hindu religion, and cults. Because there's a big problem, I guess, in India. She's Canadian. There's a big problem with Hindu cults. And she knows a lot about the cult of personality. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Scientology and whether it is compatible with Islam. And if it is, in what ways. And then also, we're going to talk about the cult of personality, which is when, well, okay, so I'm going to sum it up in a really shoddy way. But basically, thank you. You too. Have a good day. Where, like, okay, so people start following a personality and they surrender their willingness and ability to challenge the personality. It's someone who's charismatic, possibly narcissistic, but someone who's charismatic, a good storyteller, usually engaging, and people surrender slowly, gradually over time. They're taught by this personality and the other followers that to conform is the only option. And conforming means not questioning. So over time, the claims by the personality become more and more outrageous, and yet the subscribers, adherents, stop questioning anything because they've been conditioned over time that questioning will have you ostracized by the group and possibly punished by being nullified, your voice being nullified, maybe your livelihood being taken away. Some people, and I'm equating that to certain personalities on YouTube. Some people actually make their living on YouTube. How? They're better at it than I am. Let's put it that way. That's right. They chip away at it slowly. Over time, you lose. You don't realize that you're giving up your ability to say no. I mean, I've felt it in minor ways on channels that I subscribed to on YouTube twice. Once with a guy that was, hold on. Once with a guy, and I can't remember the name of his channel, even though I watched it for like 4 years, okay? But he was all about getting rid of these women, like 99% women who put their kids on YouTube for revenue. So like women who have channels about cleaning or shopping or, all that unwrapping, unpackaging, unloading, shopping, all that shit, the hauls and all that. And then they sprout out to like have their own commercial deals with sponsors, and they start plugging that stuff. And they basically swap their kids' privacy for money. And kids end up having some of the same problems that child actors have, from exposure to the public. I mean, in a very relatively minor way. Anyway, so it was on that channel, and what was happening was there was a lot of emphasis on membership and sort of like the in crowd, which is how it can seem with membership. I know that people have felt that way in my channel and told me they felt that way, that we're having secret conversations. Not all are welcome, that kind of thing. And the funny thing is the only people that aren't welcome are OSA. And again, I was talking about falling into this sort of paranoia feeling, connecting the dots and discovering who's behind what. And it's easy to do when you're being followed by PIs. What I was going to say about the opening was I thought Scientology and all that fair gaming was a thing of the past and a joke until the guy walked up, called me by my real name, not my YouTube name, called me by my government name, and said, "How did it feel to get arrested?" So then I was like, wow, they really do that. What weirdos. And then they beat up the old guy. He's old like me, okay? Don't be offended by the old guy thing. He's old like me. Beat him up and disabled, like me. Completely, when I think about that, I'm so outraged. So anyway, this is kind of how it is. I'm sorry. One thought to another. So, but the point of that being, I too have fallen victim to some of this, trying to connect dots that don't exist. But what I'm saying about the membership is I've had the very same complaints, but I saw in this guy's, the only people who are not welcome here are OSA members, and we just don't know if they're here or not. And the membership was, in my mind, it was designed for two things. One, for members, people that really care about the content, to have an input on the direction the channel would take in terms of what we would work on next, right? Like, as a community, where did we want to attack Scientology? What investigations were worthwhile? That sort of thing. It's turned into something different, a little different than I had hoped and expected. I'm not disappointed. It's just different. In some ways, it did what I wanted, and in some ways, it's different. It's sort of like, and I don't know why I expected this to be different. In some ways, it's like I'm more of a leader than I want to be, which is like, really, your face is on the channel. But I'm honestly a bit reluctant when it comes to that. So, but that's just my crap. So, where is I going with this? Yeah. So in this guy's channel, it started to be, if you said the wrong thing, you got blocked. And by wrong thing, I mean anything that could mildly be interpreted as criticism, you would get timed out or blocked. Then, there was agreement. There was this tacit agreement that we were that this was a righteous path, and those that disagreed with it were not righteous. You know, like, really, there was some of that language being used. Anyway, it all sort of started coming together in my mind as, this is a little cult. That's what this is. And I was always I never commented in the chats. I did buy a membership, but I never commented in chats or attended the kind of like weekend. He had a Friday music night. If I went there, I would just play the music while I was, because he was a great guitar player. I would clean and listen to it. I'm saying I wasn't very actively involved because it wasn't a cause that I felt very passionate about. It was like, okay. I just didn't see it as a huge problem for society. But this cult of personality can happen anywhere, and even in righteous causes, right? Where we stop being free to disagree. And it's not that anyone forces us at gunpoint. We slowly surrender it to the cult of personality. So anyway, the reason I bring that up is because I've kind of put her off as a non-priority. To be honest, that's not very nice. And it's not her personally, obviously, it's this topic. Like Michael said, if you dilute the message, you lose power sometimes. But really, if you think about it, this message is huge. It goes from personal to societal, it goes from financial matters to religious matters. It really encompasses a lot of territory. And my dream was always to have a channel that looked at all of it, investigated all of it, and exposed wherever Scientology was doing things that were dishonest, manipulative, and illegal. I don't think that's too much to ask. But I'm getting that feeling again. And I had to really, I have to look at myself. And do I have these behaviors? Am I participating in this? Have you noticed any incidents since the opening, about Windy City was doxxed yesterday. By who? For all of those out there, Shannon and I had a discussion about this on one of her live streams. Like boiling a frog. Yeah, right. That's right. Right. Yeah, right. So, well, I mean, Michael, don't you agree that that's an interesting topic, though? The Scientology, how does it, I mean, granted, it will be a short conversation about how it jives with the Abrahamic religion. Sorry, I had to get a drink. I bet that sounded gross. Thanks for hitting the like button, guys. Oh well. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. So, anywho, it's kind of like, if you're worried about being doxxed, this is the wrong place to be, honestly. I was doxxed the first 3 weeks I was doing it. And then I just came out with everything I thought could be damaging. And definitely felt like, okay, whatever else comes out is going to be consistent with this stuff. Somehow people can simultaneously hold contradictory ideas. Just things to be aware of, you know what I mean? Things to check ourselves about. Am I afraid in this community to say how I really feel? If the answer is yes, I'm with the wrong people. For real. Nora, I don't know this to be true, but I saw this in the Reddit thing. Nora from Oh No Nora, they said that I don't know where, when, or under what circumstances she said this, but it says that she recommended that you ask Scientologists 2 questions. Do you worship L. Ron Hubbard? And can you name 2 things you're critical of him about? And I think it's fair to say we're hiding. Can you tell? We're hiding from this dog. Because I didn't want Monty to scare him, bark at him. If I can't criticize, or I'm afraid, either because I'm going to lose my livelihood, be ostracized from the group, if I'm afraid to speak and say how I feel, even if it's contradictory to the party line, it's still tolerated and nobody is iced out or punished, unsubscribed to by the big channels, cut out of the conversation, etc., right? If I'm not punished for having a different view, then I'm okay. But when I'm in a group that is punishing people who have different opinions, I'm in the wrong group. So I had to make that decision for myself. But this cult of personality is something that this doctor can talk about, and now it seems even more prescient than before. So I would really like to have that be something we do this week. 10:30 a.m. is a weird time to have a live. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if people see it live or not. It is nice to have questions because, I never know if I'm asking the right questions. I only know there are things that come to my mind. But other people ask such good questions often. Bike. Harmless. They're harmless. Stop, you're so loud, dude. Stop it. Monty, come around. There you go. You like that, Frida? I'm trying not to film innocent bystanders. It's when I'm walking, when I have 2 dogs and the camera and a coffee, it's really hard to read the chat, guys. I try. Trust me, I'm trying. So I'm going to, I'll pull her on and she can talk about that. What do you think? Is that interesting or not? Here, let me put this down. Oh, sorry. Delicious macchiato. So good. Good morning. Michael. Oh, you did see it. Showing a pic of LRH with bad teeth. You know, that does seem to be something that's a recurring topic for people who are ex-Scientologists. I keep seeing that. When we talked about personality disorders on that particular day, I was actually trying to connect it to cognitive dissonance. And okay, it's literally one of my favorite concepts to discuss. I'm talking about the personality thing. Okay, gotcha. Possible explanations. Good morning, Susan Everett. Thanks for stopping by. How are you? Yeah, particularly if she has possible explanations for contradictions. Huh. Well, she seems to know a lot about cults, so hopefully she can enlighten us some more about this. The cult, I know everyone knows some certain amount of cult of personality. I mean, I've heard that applied to Jesus before, to Christianity. I've heard it called a cult of personality. So that's why we have, that's why I like to listen to experts talking about what exactly are the criteria for a cult. And is the criteria? Yeah, is. I don't know. And what makes a cult different from a religion? I've got many times over the past several months, I've gotten the comment that all religions are cults. I hear that one a lot. But that's not true, or we wouldn't have 2 different words. It can be very expensive to have others do your thinking. Is that what I'm doing? No, I'm getting input, investigating. This is what I like to do. I've always been a reader. I like to deep dive. The internet, when it first came out, was really dangerous for a person like me, OCD personality, because you could, for the first time ever, as you know, Michael, go into deep dives and learn things that were never available to you before. So, yeah, that was really exciting for me. Monty, you are terribly stubborn. Look at him. He's being a boulder. Look what they've done with the leashes. Oh my goodness. Not again. Not again. Here we go. We're untwisting. You are not pulling, son. So get your claws out the mud. Okay. I have to keep the leashes off my right hand so you guys can have a more stable ride. Oh my God, these dogs are awful. Frida does this thing where she leaps into the air. She doesn't walk. She does these leaps, one after the other, and thinks it's walking. Anywho, look how pretty it is, you guys. It's actually nice and cool this morning. There's very little, I don't know, it doesn't feel very humid and it's not very hot. It's nice and cool. It's probably maybe 60 degrees, a little under 60. That's supposed to be the high for today too. It got down to 48 last night. It was downright nippy. The grass is still all wet. Do you guys want to see the bunnies? I probably shouldn't go there now. I'll film them for you later and then upload it. It can be very, oh yeah. No. Oh, Susan. Yes, we're having our coffee together. But are you being yanked around by two dogs? Two naughty dogs? We do have a call out for an expert in SEC compliance, SEC law, securities law. I used to work for a surplus lines insurance company that had an entire an entire legal team that did only securities. And they were like the big dorks in the legal department. But they would be useful now, wouldn't they? Who's a dork now? Bless you. It's easy to sit back and criticize. It's harder to put your face up and say, I'm the one that's willing to take the criticism. I'm the one that's willing to be outed by Scientology. I mean, I'm sorry, but if you are running around confronting Scientology, you are asking to be doxxed. And that's just the facts. Not that it's right, but it's true. Publicly, so doxing someone means that you publicly reveal who they are or where they live or all of the above. Shit. It had to do with teenage and young adults. Hold on, I'm trying to read this. Come on, this way. Quit pulling, you little shit. You're such a stubborn thing. What is it? Oh, I know what you want. You're looking for treats. Oh my God, he's so transparent. Monty's looking for Roger because he always has a Ziploc bag full of treats in his pocket. And Monty will literally launch himself at that pocket when Roger shows up. So that's why he's yanking me around. And spilling my coffee all over my clothes. All right. Once you have a name, you have the rest of it. Yeah, right. It had to do with teenage and young adults who rebelled within the Jewish community, but I have told you so many times exactly how I feel regarding the difference between a cult and religion. What? Okay. Moderate for you? Michael's right here, Israel. Yeah, okay. You're freaking me out a little. I don't even know his name. I don't know who he is. So that's interesting. It's shocking to me that he got away for so long without it. That's amazing. All right, well, glorious day, isn't it? Back to the cult of personality. So yeah, this week at 10:30, probably I'm thinking Wednesday, in a couple of days, I will talk to her. Sounds very nice. She's Canadian, and as most Canadians are, very nice and enthusiastic about having a chat. Of course, we don't have to pay for it. So that's even better. Edification without monetization. That's a law office right there, that gray building that someone's bringing flowers into. Isn't this park pretty? So much free space for such a otherwise congested area. I have coffee all over the front of my jacket, my sweatshirt. But naughty, because of Boulder. Boulder, what did you do? Lou's last episode is this Friday too, you guys. Oh, Lou, I'm gonna miss him. I like that Lou is so open and talks about things the way he does. It's like, I don't know, for me, it's been so enlightening. He doesn't, I mean, sometimes he tries to convince you of a point, but mostly he's just answering the question and as openly and honestly as he can, and it really gives you insight to the way a person who's been brainwashed thinks. And you know, how it probably lasts for a lifetime. You know how they say, like when they're talking to each other, they'll say things like, and I think, so I watched Aaron's video last night. I don't know how long ago it was, but where the one that has Leah Remini on the front, on the thumbnail, front, like it's a magazine. And he said something about, oh shit, I can't remember what the hell I was talking about. Oh yeah, about how when he is with other ex-Scientologists, he speaks in the Scientologies, and some people use that as evidence of non-healing, I think he said, but he doesn't think so. Anyway, I've heard them speaking to each other say things like, you know, he's got to be handled. Like, you know, so, and Lou definitely does that. Like, I think in his thinking, the words, and he had such a brilliant point when he said that words have power. I mean, it's so brilliant. I mean, George Orwell was talking about that. How powerful words are when you adopt a language, and I think that will probably come up in the discussion that this person and I have, the Canadian doctor and I have, because it's like, if somebody speaks a secret language, in some ways AA is even kind of, subject to this as well. And Landmark was like that, definitely. Had its own terms and meanings. It's like up is down, down is up. Remember when we had the discussion with Lou about present, what it means to be present? And I was trying to explain what I understood the word being present, the phrase being present to mean. And he was saying, oh yeah, right, it's isolation. That's right, Michael. So when you have your own language, you further are isolated and in some ways superior to the rest of society. But I've heard Lou uses a lot of language, and he said words are powerful in Scientology, but they're very powerful in every cult. So when I was trying to explain my understanding of being present, and he was explaining Scientology's understanding, we were talking about two completely different things, but the same word, using the same word, and just ever so slightly frustrated by the other person's non-recognition of the fact that they'd got it wrong, right? It's like present means to be here without past and future. Oh yeah, that's what Scientologists say because they do. But it's not. Someone had asked him, something to the effect like, isn't it so exhausting to think like a Scientologist? Because to me, it sounds like all this mental gymnastics. You have to do step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then once you get them to this point, then you do steps 10 in reverse order twice. And I mean, it's like, that's how it sounds to me, just like nonsense. And lots of strategy for no particular outcome. But because in the end it doesn't work. So why? Why all that effort? I mean, Lou talks about spending hours and hours and hours and hours as a kid reading things and memorizing things. They all talk about that. When really the only purpose is indoctrination. But anyway, I thought that was a really good illustration of how powerful language is. When Lou and I were trying to meet somewhere in the middle and couldn't, because we were using two different definitions for the same phrase. Okay, I'll stop babbling now. Once you've done your TRs, then thought patterns take no effort. But language does influence thinking. Yes, it does. Thought stopping cliches is one tool for control. Thought stopping. Like what? Do you have an example of that, Michael? Thought stopping. I think you said cliche. That because AA uses those if what you're saying what I think you're saying. Just for today. Cliches, yeah, is one tool for control. Yeah. Creating a new language is part, yeah. Yep. No, Kimmy. Streets got arrested? You're also reading these like a few minutes after I wrote them. I'm aware. There's a lag. Yeah, I gotcha. Wow. What did he get arrested for? God damn it. Fucking cops. Here's a white lilac. Yeah, that's the problem with trying to communicate on YouTube. Besides the walking and holding things and all that. That's why I love the Sunday night get-together, because I feel so relaxed and I can read every single comment and really listen to what you guys are saying. You can communicate like that. Look at this. Where are we? This is a breezeway. This is a clean breezeway we're in. Well, all right. I'm going to go. You guys have a good day. Everyone, I'm wishing you the best. Say a prayer for streets. Streets. Regarding language, I always tell people that you cannot translate Hebrew or Arabic into English. I've heard that a lot of other languages as well. And it's like when you translate a poem into another language, it loses everything. All right, guys, have a good day. Thanks for showing up as usual, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a wonderful cult-free day. Bye.